Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the CD guy, Johnny Z here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. And today, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. I'm going to be ranking the top 10 greatest heavy metal entrance themes in professional wrestling history. One thing you guys might not know about me is that I'm a huge professional wrestling fan, whether it be WWE or AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I love pro wrestling, and I think heavy metal and wrestling do kind of go hand in hand. There's nothing like a great rock and metal song to get you hyped up for a match or an entrance or a show, so I think metal and wrestling do kind of go hand in hand. Heavy metal is very important to pro wrestling, and for that reason, today I'm going to be counting down the top 10 greatest heavy metal entrance themes in professional wrestling history, and it's important to note that I am going to be taking into account song quality here, but more importantly, I'm also going to be taking into account a little bit more heavily here how iconic this entrance theme is and how synonymous it is with a certain wrestler, how popular the song is with the crowd. Is it a big crowd sing-along? Does the crowd pop huge for this song? Things like that are going to be taken into account, how well the song fits each wrestler as well. So that being said, let's get into the list here with my number 10. Coming in at number 10 here, I'm going to kick off the list in ECW with Taz and War Machine by Kiss. An iconic walkout song here for Taz and ECW. Just those first couple of chords here on that awesome riff. So instantly recognizable. Everybody knew Taz was coming out, and the crowd would pop huge for it. It's a song that fit Taz so well. War Machine is one of my favorite Gene Simmons Kiss songs. I think Taz just fit the song so perfectly. An awesome walkout theme, like I said, and just really great stuff. Classic ECW entrance theme here in War Machine by Kiss. Fit Taz super well. One of the most iconic entrance themes of all time, in my opinion. Definitely one of the best from ECW. So kicking up the list here at number 10, I'm going to go with War Machine by Kiss, used by Taz during his ECW days. Well, from ECW to WCW, my number 9 here on the list is Iron Man by Black Sabbath off their sophomore album Paranoid, used by the Road Warriors. And when you think of one of the coolest tag teams of all time, the Road Warriors definitely have to come to mind. And also, when you think about one of the coolest guitar riffs ever written, gotta think about Iron Man by Black Sabbath here off Paranoid. Great song, totally fit the atmosphere of the Road Warriors, the overall ambiance, and their overall image so well, right? That guitar riff is menacing and fit the Road Warriors to a T. One of the coolest tag team entrance themes of all time, in my opinion, and the Road Warriors were so instrumental in bringing heavy metal into professional wrestling because they were one of the first people to use a heavy metal song as their entrance theme, which is really important and did set the bar for future people to be using heavy metal as their walkout song. So really important there for the Road Warriors to be incorporating some metal into their entrance, and like I said, it fit them really well. Perfectly, actually. So coming in at number 9, I'm going to go with Iron Man by Black Sabbath, used by the Road Warriors during their time in WCW. Back to the land of extreme here in ECW for my number 8. How about Man in the Box by Alice in Chains, used for Tommy Dreamer as his entrance theme in ECW, and even when he came to WWE, I believe he did keep the riff. It was just an instrumental version of the song, so to avoid the copyright, but just an iconic, instantly recognizable riff that was perfect for ECW, perfect for Tommy Dreamer. The lyrics really did match Tommy's character really well as the heart and soul of ECW, but also the underdog, and I think that's really important. Man in the Box is one of my favorite Alice in Chains songs. It was actually my introduction to Alice in Chains, and no joke, I actually was introduced to Alice in Chains through ECW, through Tommy Dreamer's entrance, hearing Tommy Dreamer's entrance theme, and that totally got me hooked on Man in the Box, which in time led me to get hooked on Alice in Chains, who are one of my all-time favorite bands, so had to put Man in the Box somewhere on this list. So coming in at number 8, how about Man in the Box by Alice in Chains, used by Tommy Dreamer in ECW. Following that up with number 7, I'm going to go with Glass Shatters by Disturbed, used by Stone Cold Steve Austin in the early 2000s, and I know this might be a bit of a controversial opinion here, but for me personally, I've always preferred this version of Steve Austin's theme to the original iconic one. The original is fantastic, right? It was an amazing theme during the Attitude Era for Steve Austin, very recognizable, just great stuff, but I love this version because it's heavier, it's got a much harder edge to it, it's a great recreation of the original theme, keeping the same elements that made it so iconic, while also adding a much harder edge to it, adding vocals as well. Great lyrics here by Dave Draymond. I think the band sounds fantastic as well, and it just added a lot to the overall Steve Austin character in the early 2000s when he was playing the psychotic heel, leader of the Alliance. Just added a great layer, a great ripple to his character, made his entrance seem a lot more psychotic with the lyrics and the vocals by Dave Draymond. Great stuff, and again, might be unpopular, but in my opinion, the best Steve Austin theme song, coming in at number 7 here on the list, Glass Shatters by Disturbed. We go back to ECW for the last time here on the list. For my number 6, I'm going to go with Enter Sandman by Metallica, the entrance theme for the Sandman in ECW. And, for me, the Sandman wasn't a great professional wrestler, but his overall appeal was 95% of his character, and most of his character got over because of his entrance, coming out with, chugging beers, hitting himself in the head with the beer can, with the kendo stick, and coming out to Enter Sandman by Metallica. A huge crowd sing-along, got him super over with the fans, and, the Sandman's entrance would take forever, but it's worth it when you can hear hear the ECW crowd going absolutely nuts for Enter Sandman by Metallica, and definitely want to check out his entrance from One Night Stand 2005, where he came out to Enter Sandman for the last time in WWE, first and only time in WWE, actually. And if you're able to find the non-WWE Network version where they don't cut out Enter Sandman, if you're able to find a version probably on Daily Motion or YouTube, there's great stuff, an awesome entrance, the crowd singing along to Enter Sandman. It's probably my favorite Sandman entrance, if you can find a version without the WWE Network overdubs. Really, really cool stuff, and coming in at number 6 here on the list, gotta go with the iconic Enter Sandman, the incredible entrance theme for the Sandman. A huge part of what made the Sandman's character so great is that entrance theme and his overall entrance. Just really, really cool stuff, and definitely deserving of a spot here on this list. Breaking into the top 5 now with my number 5, I'm going to go with Cult of Personality by Living Colour, used by CM Punk in WWE and currently in AEW. And this is not my favorite CM Punk entrance theme. That would probably have to go to This Fire Burns by Killswitch Engage, which I'll get to in a little bit, but I think that Cult of Personality is probably the most iconic, recognizable CM Punk entrance theme. It's probably the song he's become most synonymous with. You know, looking at his AEW debut, you know, how big the crowd popped when they heard Cult of Personality and they knew CM Punk was coming out in a pro wrestling ring for the first time in 7 years. You know, and also, it really, the lyrics match the CM Punk character so well if you read the lyrics, especially when he returned to WWE in 2011 during the Summer of Punk with the new entrance theme. I think it totally fit the CM Punk character to a T, and just perfect fit for CM Punk in my opinion. Even though it's not my favorite CM Punk entrance theme, it is a great song by Living Colour, and it really does fit the CM Punk character so well. So for that reason, it cracks the top 5. Coming in at number 5 here on the list, Cult of Personality by Living Colour, used by CM Punk in WWE and currently in AEW. Well, speaking of huge crowd sing-alongs, there's probably no greater crowd sing-along in professional wrestling today than my number 4 on the list, and that is Judas by Fozzy, the entrance theme for Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho coming out to his own song that he sang himself is probably the most Chris Jericho thing ever. You know, and Chris Jericho, one of my all-time favorite professional wrestlers, probably my favorite of all time, and this song does fit the Jericho character so well, being that he switched from heel to babyface and turned on so many people over the years. So that's really cool, and you know, this song has really taken on a life of its own. A huge crowd sing-along, the crowd always singing the last chorus of Judas during Chris Jericho's entrance, which is amazing. One of the reasons why Jericho has one of the best entrances in professional wrestling today, and this song is just fantastic. I mean, this is the only reason I bought this album here by Fozzy. I'm not really a Fozzy guy, but I did buy this album on a whim in 2017 when it came out because I am a big fan of Judas, the title track. It's just great stuff and an awesome entrance theme. My number 4 on the list here, Judas by Fozzy, the entrance theme for Chris Jericho in New Japan Professional Wrestling and AEW. Top 3 now, and my number 3 on the list is the aforementioned This Fire Burns by Killswitch Engage, used by CM Punk during his time in WWE from 2006 to 2011, and this song was originally written and recorded and assigned to Randy Orton as his entrance theme. I believe he used it for a week. He hated it, and they eventually decided that it didn't fit the character, and they gave it to CM Punk instead, and that's who the song became synonymous with. You know, CM Punk, with that entrance theme, would do some of the best work of his career. You know, leader of the Straight Edge Society, ECW champion, and then eventually WWE champion. And you know, hearing CM Punk's entrance, really not just seeing it but hearing it, and the pop he got when he came out at Money in the Bank 2011 to This Fire Burns is just so cool. Probably my favorite CM Punk entrance, and definitely the best usage of This Fire Burns. A fantastic, heavy song here by Killswitch Engage, and just one of the best walkout songs in professional wrestling history. My number 3 here on the list, used by CM Punk and Randy Orton, but most notably by CM Punk for several years, This Fire Burns by Killswitch Engage. My pick for number 2 here on the list is Metalingus by Alter Bridge, used by Edge for a majority of his WWE career, and I do believe Edge also used to come out to Never Gonna Stop by Rob Zombie, which is a great song, but I think Metalingus is probably the best fit for Edge over the years. And you know, when you return to WWE in the 2020 Royal Rumble match after not being able to wrestle for 11 years, the pop was insane when Metalingus came over the loudspeaker, when it filled the stadium, and that's when you know that your theme song is iconic. When before you've even come out, it's so recognizable, it can bring the whole stadium to its feet, and that is just so awesome, man. One of the reasons why Edge is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and I believe now he is using a different theme. He is using The Other Side by Alter Bridge, which is another great song, but I do think Metalingus is the most iconic Edge theme song, one that's most recognizable and synonymous with him. And at this point, I really couldn't imagine Edge coming out to anything other than Alter Bridge. So coming in at number 2 here on the list, the iconic Metalingus, a great song, but even better, and an even better fit when used by Edge. So coming in at number 2 here, Metalingus by Alter Bridge. Before we get to my number 1 here, a few honorable mentions that I want to give some special recognition to. So honorable mentions going out to Walk by Kilgore, covering the Pantera song of the same name, the entrance theme for Rob Van Dam and ECW, and terrible cover, but RVD made it cool. And also going to give an honorable mention here, too, For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica, used by Nick Gage in GCW. Nick Gage has one of the coolest entrances in professional wrestling today. I think For Whom the Bell Tolls is a great fit for him. One of the reasons why his entrance is so iconic. Kind of reminds me a little bit of how the Sandman used to be in ECW, coming out to enter Sandman by Metallica. Same kind of a feel when the Sandman and Nick Gage enter the arena or the building, wherever GCW is being held now. Just really, really great stuff. So 2 honorable mentions there that I think are fantastic, but I can only fit 10 on the list. And finally, coming in at number 1, I'm going to go with a 3-way tie for my number 1 pick. All great musical contributions here, contributed to WWE by Motorhead, and that is The Game, King of Kings, and Line in the Sand, all used by Triple H during different eras of his career, and they all fit the Triple H character so well, in my opinion, whether it be The Game, which is the most iconic Triple H entrance theme. You have King of Kings, which is used during Triple H's authority role period there, which is a fantastic song that really describes the great Triple H authority character. And then you have Line in the Sand, used by Evolution, a great faction led by Triple H, and the lyrics really fit the total vibe of Evolution, which is really, really cool. And Lemmy is the undisputed king of the wrestling theme, in my opinion. His contributions to pro wrestling and pro wrestling entrance themes should not be understated. 3 amazing songs here, 3 incredible Motorhead songs, really. And Lemmy definitely belongs in the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame. If that Hall of Fame means anything to you, it doesn't really mean much to me, but if they can put Drew Carey in the WWE Hall of Fame, they can definitely afford to put Motorhead, and in particular Lemmy, in the Hall of Fame as well. So that concludes my list of top 10 greatest heavy metal entrance themes in professional wrestling. Want to give a very special thank you to Craig Cifola, who designed the new channel logo and the new channel intro and outro. Thank you so much, man. They look sick, and very happy to be using them here in this video and in the future. So thank you so much. They look awesome, and definitely want to check out Craig's band, New Messiah. They're great, and I'll leave all the information to that band down in the comments below, so you definitely want to check them out. And special thanks again to Craig Cifola. The graphics look awesome, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel down below. Turn on the bell for notifications to be notified of a new upload. And let me know in the comments, did you agree with my list? Did you disagree with my list? What are some of your favorite professional wrestling entrance themes from the heavy metal genre? I'd be very interested in hearing some of your picks. And until next time, it's the CD guy, Johnny Z, signing off. Take care, everybody.